Welcome, Watchers from Beyond the Plains, witches, warlocks, spellcasters of nondescript gender identity, and of course their muggle friends, peeping over their shoulders at their various scrates and slates and orbs of scrying, appearing to this broadcast from beyond the multiverse, and planes beyond planes, beyond planes, beyond planes, beyond planes, beyond planes. Goon.exe has stopped functioning. Anyway, I'm Goon Daddy. I'll be your dungeon master for tonight's Dalliance into Destiny, but no time to dilly-dally. It's time to bring in our wonderful, fantastical cast.
So they're not charmed to you. They're charmed by each other.
How charming.
In addition, on top of the... Oh, shoot. Hello.
Hi. No.
I knew that was gonna
I'm
happen.
immediately intrigued.
I was talking about a Twitter subclass for the cleric called Beauty Cleric, and it's really silly.
Oh, boy. Okay.
It would fit really well with an Aphrodite-esque deity.
From what I've heard, absolutely, yeah.
Also, the final addition onto that charmed ability is anyone that attacks the charmed people, the other charmed people will fight for them in defense. So it could be your enemy, but like now it's like your best friend that you've known since elementary school, and so is that dude named Steve down the road. But then Jeff on the far right, Jeff, who you thought you knew since the start of your campaign, who's your level 10 wizard, was being a pal, just attacked Jeff. And who's he to attack Jeff? You've known Jeff since elementary school.
Jeff's
a skeleton.
Jeff is a total peach.
It's just a cluster. I love it.
You know what I love? I love the Pixie Mart. The Pixie Mart.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Pixie Mart is your one-stop shop to add a little spice into our campaigns whenever you feel like it. If you want to donate $5, $10, $25, $50, $75, $100, it's up to you. All you gotta do is pick a magic item that is rared correctly with the amount of money that you want to donate, and then give me a name, and then give me a character you want to give it to, and then I will look it over, and I will plippity-plop it into our fantastical campaign setting. And the proceeds will be donated, delivered, divided 5 ways between all 5 of our fantabulous peoples right here. That's super dope and awesome.
I'm sorry. I read the next section of the same ability, and when there is no longer any combat, all the creatures that have been charmed by this ability will rest, talk amongst themselves, share stories of their lives, and create a communal feast using any food or drink they carry, and generally act as if they are all old friends, long separated and brought together again by a joyous reunion. I love this subclass.
Oh,
that is amazing.
That's literally aftercare.
I literally walked in the room and went, all of you, beloved.
Oh my
I'm imagining
goodness.
a banquet with a bunch of rations and bugs and other weird things
And
that multiple different races
harps.
eat.
And pillows. And just cherry blossoms being blown by some mysterious, unknown, undirectioned wind.
Those, like, anime sparkly bubbles.
Heck yes.
Honestly, it's a very front-loaded subclass because its later ones are like, it's okay, but then it just starts really hard.
You know what's really hard? Trying to get people to sign up for the Goon Daddy, not the Goon Daddy, the Daddy's Dungeon Patreon, baby. Go to patreon.com, Daddy's Dungeon D&D to sign up on the $5 level. Listen, I need to push it, man. Sign up at the $5 level and cast your vote to determine what the $5 level is going to be called. $5 level people get access to a special room here in the Goon Daddy Discord where I post the animatics that I've been making when I make them. And instead of
they're so good.
You can get ahead on the memes. You can get ahead on them.
They're absolutely amazing. Every time you make one, I just lose.
Every time I animate our characters. I'm sorry. So I guess it's time for. Does anyone have a character question that they would like to ask, or am I gonna have to pull another one out of my butt?
Anybody know anything about the law in Paternia?
Okay, who's probably the best? This is topical. Who's probably the best law person in our campaign in our party? The party consisting of Blue, David, Howle.
To raise an offer, Howle and Skortch have been breaking rules and trying to find ways around the consequences of breaking rules for like their entire childhoods, so...
Let's hope that doesn't come up in your court case.
Yeah, you
Would
know what?
not look good on your record.
No, it wouldn't.
Howle and Skortch have been known to back out of deals and laws that have been in contract.
Hey, nobody said anything about backing out of deals, just getting out of consequences for law breaking. Those are two different things.
You know what? Just for that,
I
I'm
don't
giving
trust like that.
just because he thought up the question. Smokey, you're getting inspiration, and because you Grem gave a very good response to that question. Grem, you get inspiration.
They?
You are just blessed.
You guys get some DM dice, baby. It's good for let's say 1d6 on whatever you want to throw your inspiration on.
It's a little sunrise.
Heck
Yeah.
yes, broski.
This is the first time I'm seeing it.
Okay.
It's just like flipping it on and off.
So are you guys ready?
Mhm.
Of course.
You guys ready for? Are you ready to get
For
down?
bats.
Let me just cue up Maestro, if you will.
I mean, I did post a meme for this for Howle in the other chat.
Yes.
Last time on Daddy's Dungeon, Beastmasters of Paternia, our party successfully vanquished, or at the very least, depowered the Aboleth to a point where the Aboleth isn't going to be doing nothing for a long time. He's shrunken down to a little squiddly form, and his little squiddly arms are now trapped inside of big, magical, cuffs. I was looking for another word that wasn't as kinky, but cuffs. These the kinky squid cuffs, baby. The day was saved, until the law came a-knocking. A well-dressed angel named Samuel and a demon showed up, served them papers, and Samuel is now their lawyer in a cosmic court of law because Skortch and Howle made a deal with that very same Aboleth for their warlock powers, and defeating it is definitely a violation, considering that the condition that the Aboleth made for their powers. The deal that was struck was power for freedom, and slamming extra locks on the person that you told that you were gonna free is definitely a violation of that contract. But as of right now, the kingdom of Paternia is sleeping snugly under a cozy blanket of night. David, Ken, and Blue are sleeping all three together, Ken on the floor, in the royal prince's room. Skortch is sleeping soundly alone in her room, and Howle is sleeping in the medical ward. Maud, accompanied by Martha Ashe, leave the medical ward, leaving Howle to sleep soundly with Artosh by his side. And we're going to start our session with Howle waking up once again in the middle of the night to a strange humanoid figure that we now understand to be some kind of a simian lycanthropy that Artosh is undertaking. So, Howle, yeah, you wake up, and Artosh has resumed this semi-human form and is sleeping soundly right next to you within your hospital cot.
Must be hospital. How well do I remember how I ended up here?
You remember riding Jewel down to face the Aboleth, and you remember seeing most of the battle from inside, like the inside out, or like a Gundam pilot seat in your own mind. But you had no control over it, and it was kind of like this inky haze covering your eyes. But what you didn't see was the fruition of the great attack that you felt your body charging, because it kind of I'm hearing myself. It kind of like slowly sapped away all of your mental energy. So at the end of it all, the you inside of you passed out, and then the you outside of you passed out as well. So you remember watching your body do things that you weren't telling it to do, and then you wake up and Artosh is a lycanthrope in your bed in the hospital wing of Castle Paternia.
At this rate, I mean, I don't know if this is something you can get used to very quickly, but now that he knows what's happening, it's not necessarily, like, uncomfortable or anything.
I mean, last time when Artosh was experiencing this kind of lycanthropy, you tried to wake them up, and they didn't wake up, but they did manage to, like, to tell you in, like, common to stop trying to wake them up, like, almost as a reflex. Is there anything that you want to do now, now that you have all the time that night has to offer?
Howle starts off with just, like, thinking out loud, I should have brought you with me, and then starts, like, poking his nose and stuff.
You have Artosh's character sheet. Go ahead and have Artosh roll a con save.
I'm gonna have to add the 3 to that.
Cool. So an 18 on the con save. Artosh is sleeping soundly. You kind of like booped their snoot. Is that what I'm is that like a,
yeah, just kind of soft, like boop.
It's kind of boop.
Boop boop.
Are you?
Boop.
Yeah, you do that. You do that. Their nose twitches, and it's kind of strange. It's the nose that is there is like a kind of halfway between human and a lion nose. But it's still very cute and very boopable. What else? His tail flicks a bit, and he's just kind of swats with his human hand over his hybrid nose, like out of reflex. But Artosh does not wake up.
Can I make an Arcana check on him?
Sure.
Or perhaps like medicine or nature or something.
Well, if you make an Arcana check, if you succeed on an Arcana check, that'll give you an insight into the nature of the strange lycanthropy. If you make a nature's check, it'll help you recall other cases of lycanthropy, like not the mechanics of lycanthropy, but with nature you'll be able to remember other cases of lycanthropy that have been documented. And then what was the other one that you asked about?
Medicine?
Medicine. With a medicine, with a medicine check in this situation, that could give you insights into better ways to try to wake him up, but mostly it'll be like studying this hybridization.
Okay. I think I'll go with the Arcana check for now.
Okay.
Ooh, a nat 20.
Ooh, a nat. Okay. So on this nat 20, you remember when, like, right before you were shoved into the co-pilot seat of your own body in the boss battle with the Aboleth. You remember feeling two connections. Count them. 1, 2 connections. One with the Aboleth and one with a mysterious source that was somewhere up in Castle Paternia. Oh. You now realize you feel the connection, like, in your heart and in your mind, and like where your magic is. You feel the connection that your connection is with Artosh. And with a nat 20, you get the idea that Artosh is definitely becoming a lycanthrope because you spent so much time with him. And not only that, he's not just a human lion drake lycanthrope. He is a lion drake air genasi fusion lycanthrope. And with a nat 20, I'm tempted to say that you recognize, like, on a spiritual level, like not just physically, like the realization that it's not a human lycanthrope but an air genasi lycanthrope. That's something that you can like witness with your eyes, but you like feel like a resonance, like beyond like this connection that like you are mirrored souls almost. Like you feel that connection.
Do I have access to any of the castle's staff?
You look around, and usually Martha Ashe is never at her desk if she doesn't have a piping hot cup of tea. And so when you look over at Martha Ashe's desk, you see that there is no cup of tea, signaling that she most likely is retired for the evening and hasn't left her piping hot cup of tea on the table in like a she'll be right back kind of thing. Like that's not something that you're picking up. So you can only gather that you are alone with this Lycan Artosh.
And it's late enough at night that, like, everyone's probably asleep, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I want to sneak into the kitchen and get something meaty.
Okay. So.
And I want to bring it back to Artosh.
Okay. Let me get just. Let's just go ahead and make a stealth check, because it's a stealth check to get you out of bed and down the hall, without waking Artosh. I mean, unless you want to wake Artosh, in which case.
Well, I mean that's kind of the point of grabbing the meat.
Okay. Make the roll anyway. See if you don't need to. Okay.
I got it, that one.
Okay. With a nat 1, you pull the covers off of your legs, and you see that you're dressed in in a hospital gown. But when you pull the covers off of your legs, you kind of create a slanting plane. And turns out, Artosh was being very nice and giving you most of the bed, and was kind of like half balancing off the side of the bed. And so when you lift the blanket up, Artosh goes onto the ground.
I'm so sorry.
Ow. What the heck, Howle?
I didn't notice you were on the edge of the bed, but you're awake now. Hi.
Artosh, you're looking at Artosh, and it's there on the ground on all fours, and it just heard itself speak for the very first time, and it is thinking about that. It's thinking about how it just talked, and then it looks down at its hands. It has hands! And it flexes its hands, and Artosh flexes their hands, and it sees that it has claws still, and it has fur, kind of. And it looks down, it has junk, and it kind of grimaces at it, like, a little bit. And he looks back, and, like, there's a kind of a, like, and Artosh's ears have always been quite emotive, but you see that, like, there's, like, an inquisitive, like, fold of the ear, looking back, seeing that his wings are still there, and then like a very droopy, I still have my wings. My tail! I still have my tail. And slowly Artosh starts to get up on both of their feet.
Do you want a mirror?
What is mirror?
It shows you what you look like when you look into it.
Yes.
Alright, let's go find a mirror.
Yeah, so doesn't take too long. There's like a foot long, there's like a standing mirror, like leaning against the wall, like So the hospital wing is this kind of pill-shaped like wing that doesn't have like a door. It just kind of has an archway connecting to a major hallway of the castle. So there's no like door. There's just an archway connecting to other places in the castle. But there is a standing mirror like leaning against the wall, like right at the entrance. So it's not really hard to go and find it because it's right there.
So, this is at least the second time you've done this. I'm not sure what's causing it.
Go ahead and, can I get an intelligence check from Artosh?
And -2, oh no. I mean, he rolled well, so that's a 17.
Oh, cool. I remember wind. I remember. And he's saying this as he's like stepping closer and closer to the mirror. I imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm imagining like you're standing behind the standing mirror, like holding it up to him. But
I mean, sure, yeah.
But Artosh is like slowly like standing and like walking towards his own reflection. I remember Oracle. I remember the Oracle. I remember. There were 5 shooting stars. I was a shooting star. I crashed. I was lost. I was found. I was chained. I was used. I was sad. I was angry. I was furious. I escaped. I piggybacked. I found. I ran. I flew. I crashed again. I ate. I found a home. I was trapped again. And then I was with you. And then I was with you. And then I was with you. And then I was with a turtle. And then I was with you again. And then I was
Are you gonna be alright?
And then I was with a dog. And then I was with you, but you weren't moving. And then is now. And Artosh passes out.
Oop. That's a lot of happening.
Yeah, the lycanthropic body of Artosh passes out on the ground.
Can I try to carry him to a bed?
Make a strength check, man.
Yeah, it's not gonna go very well, but we'll see. Oh!
I mean, this at least proves that Howle is able to carry a little over his own body weight, which is great. So do you put Artosh back on your bed, or do you put Artosh in their own bed?
I'm gonna put him in his own bed.
Okay. Do you tuck him in?
Sure.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
I mean, I've been asleep for a while, so sleeping more doesn't feel like it's necessary at the moment, so I guess I'll just try to find something to read.
Okay. You walk over to, let's go over to Martha Ashe. She's got lots of diagrams of a lot of, like, the common sapient, 2-legged, citizens. she's got a bunch of books on the anatomy of common races. There's one on orcs. There's one on half elves, full elves, wood elves. A lot of different elves. There might be like an elvish bias in the Paternia medical system, but that's not for us to deconstruct right now. Go ahead and give me an insight check. Not an insight check.
Investigation?
No, it'd be a perception check.
A perception check. Okay.
Yes, because I'm rolling something else over on my end.
I was gonna ask if there's anything about Genasi. Oh.
28. That's a 4. Yes, but you find a good book. You do find it's not the Genasi material is kind of not the best. It's less of a book. It's less of a book, more of a pamphlet, really. So you're rearing a Genasi, it's what it's called. But I'm gonna use my magical DM powers and say that you do notice, that you did notice before, that there is outside of the wind. So I described it before, but the pill shape of this hospital wing is lined with windows. A lot of natural light is utilized in this wing. But as you pick up this pamphlet, so you're rearing a Genasi, you look over to the windows and you see an enormous balloon, and you can make out a cat-like face, kind of stitched onto it, and this cat has an eye patch, and there are two big protruding cat ears on either side of the balloon, and then you notice that one of the windows is open, and then you notice that there is a cloaked figure looking around in a cabinet.
Okay, first of all, out of character, Team Rocket. Second of all, in character, who are you and why are you here?
Well, not to sound too cliche, but I suppose if there's a time to use it, now's the time. I loathe having to say it, but the cat's out of the bag now, isn't it? And wearing a cloak of billowing, you see this silhouette of Dandy Jack. He's not wearing his signature hat, but he is, yes, wearing... I was gonna make a joke that he looks like Batman, but... But there it is. There's the joke. He looks like Batman in this situation, because he's kind of silhouetted. He's wearing a cloak of billowing. And he notices you, but he doesn't really stop rooting around the cabinet.
You know, after everything that's happened, breaking back into our castle isn't gonna make you look any better.
I realize that.
What are you doing here? Do you need help with something?
I realize that I'm not really the kind of person that really should be doing this, but I'm experiencing a bit of personal growth. I've never really needed anything before, but now I do. Well, not I. A person a creature whom I care less than nothing, more than nothing about, does need a particular thing, and I'm the only person with the skills to get it for them. So and then he goes back. He just stops talking, and he just goes back to searching.
Okay, what kind of help are you looking for? You're in a medical facility, so is it an injury, an illness?
It's a kind of hallucination type deal. One of my crewmates has been afflicted with a nymphish curse. We were on an island. I pissed off a nymph. They did something to one of my crew, and now I have to fix it.
Okay, what about bringing them here, and I can advocate for them to get some care from people who know things about medicine?
Well, yes, I could do that, but then I would also be in your debt, and I don't really want to be in anyone's debt, especially anyone from Paternia. So if you'll excuse me, I have some more browsing to do.
I mean, if you didn't want to be in anyone's debt, you probably shouldn't have attacked us in the first place.
I owe no one anything. And that was all part of a job, and I do think that I was acquitted for that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But, well, not everyone's over it.
Well, anyway, I'm looking for a pearl gem trinket. I can't remember what it's called. Pearl gem trinket. It's like some kind of something with a pearl nymphish magic that'll help me fix my crewmate. Well, not crewmate. They work for me. So, my crewmate.
Can I like begin to help him look and give him either like advantage on a check or just do my own check?
Yeah, go ahead and make your own check.
Alright. Oh no. That barely rolled at all.
Yeah, and he just rolled
That's
a
rude.
4. So he's not finding it. And you're not finding it. I will say
Well, there has to be one somewhere.
you will know this that like this is a case full of medicine. What he's looking for is some kind of charm, and that wouldn't be kept in a medicine.
Why don't I take you to the Magic Academy? They'll probably have something like this.
And I won't be in your debt.
I don't require anything in return.
All right, then lead the way.
Alright.
You walk. You leave. You leave, or at least lead the way in your hospital gown, which you get the sense that he.
Oh, and I leave like something behind. So I don't have like anything in mind at the moment, but I feel like there should be like an object I leave behind for Artosh when I'm like gone but not in danger, so that he knows.
Like a boomerang?
Like my boomerang,
Like
yeah.
a boomerang. Heck yeah. So how do you present the boomerang to the sleeping Artosh?
I lay it beside him in the bed.
Okay, that's cute. The lichened Artosh, like almost as if they senses it, kind of like almost instinctually like grabs it and starts like suckling on the end of it.
Aww.
Yeah. So yeah, you lead the way. Dandy Jack follows close behind as you exit the hospital wing, and you turn the corner, and you see Ken just standing there, motionless, like in the middle of the hallway, like in your way to the Mage Academy. To the Mage Academy wing, which you'll enter through the presentation room from the prequel session with the big circle and the mages and stuff. That room. So Ken is in your way to that, like standing right in there in your way to that door. Ken, if you want, you can come in and go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight? Okay.
I was talking to Howle, but alright. You can insight while you sleep.
Sure. Let's see how okay, 20.
Ken, you are dreaming of two people. They look just like you, but they're black and shadowy. One has a tail for some reason. Howle, you have no idea why Ken is standing silently in the middle of the hallway. Is he alright?
I think he's sleepwalking, but I'm not sure.
Alright, so
We might wanna...
I'm just gonna... and he he hugs the wall, and he scooches over,
And as he scooches over, he immediately sees Ken get a little bit ready.
and then he freezes.
I don't think we're gonna be able to sneak past.
He, like, plants his feet in the ground.
Oh no. I'm gonna have Dandy Jack make an acrobatics check.
I'm gonna have me make an athletics check.
Okay, you make your athletics check here.
Okay.
13.
Can
Okay.
I?
If you want to make a
Can
check,
I-
go ahead.
I was gonna use levitate on Ken.
Sure.
Can you lift more than 650 pounds with levitate?
You're 600 pounds.
Okay, so Ken's shell is like 2/3 of that.
I know. No, I cannot. Never mind. I'm not using levitate.
Okay, so what Dandy Jack has done with his acrobatics check of 16 to beat your athletics of 13, he has kind of, so he continued like scooching, but Ken, you kind of do some motions, but they're like sloppily aimed. Go ahead and to describe the kind of sleep fighting that Ken does.
So this man kind of starts to go around Ken, and Ken makes a motion as he tries to jump over Ken, I guess, or like maybe ride the wall.
Something like that.
Ken like makes a motion for his ankles
Yeah.
and miss and like smacks into the wall.
Yes. Yeah. Ken goes and reaches for Dandy Jack's ankles as he's like holding himself up against the wall, and then as Ken lunges, Dandy Jack does like this beautiful, immaculate split, putting his forepaws on like Ken's head, and like splitting perfectly over him like leapfrog, and getting over to the other side. Ken,
I was gonna say the moment he gets over to the other side, Ken like stiffens up and readies an attack.
Sure. Go ahead and try to hit him if you want.
Alright, Ken is gonna, as he gets around him, Ken is just gonna roundhouse kick in the direction of his spine.
Oh, dip.
All
Go
right.
ahead and try to hit him.
Am I rolling with advantage, or no?
I'm gonna say disadvantage because you're still asleep.
But it would be ice, so it's
So
flat.
it would be neutral, yeah.
Natural 20.
A nat 20. Okay, go ahead and roll damage dice. I'm gonna look for something here. It would be features and traits. It would be wouldn't it be where is it? It's uncanny dodge, yeah. It's uncanny dodge. Hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you. So Dandy Jack only takes 5 points of damage from the attack, but it was well hit. But unfortunately, you did hit him in the direction that he was trying to go.
Totally.
Ken's back is now to you, Howle. What do you want to do?
Well, most of the things that I would like to do are tied to my patron, which isn't my patron anymore. And I just ditched my boomerang.
Boomerang!
So I guess I'm just gonna try to bonk Ken on the head with my staff and hope it's enough to wake him up.
Your staff was broken during the fight.
Oh yeah, it was broke. Frick. Okay,
You know what? What I'll let you do is try to make a stealth check with advantage, because Ken's back is to you. Also, he's asleep and Ken's preoccupied. So go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage. Try to sneak around.
Well, yeah,
Ken
but
while
like he's still
tunnel vision.
attacking Dandy Jack, isn't he?
Kind of, yeah. But go ahead, yeah.
Roll with advantage. Wow, I still suck. It was 10 and 11.
Okay, with a 14. Listen, the DC that I put for this was 10. So yes, you did pass. And with a 14,
Well, like, what's Ken's passive perception?
Oh, my
he's
theoretically?
asleep.
My passive perception is 17,
He's also asleep. So
but my passive perception is 17.
all right, cool. I guess. So with this 14 against the passive perception, a sleeping passive perception of 17, I guess. Can we agree that you're more or less just focused on the guy that caused you to ram your head into the wall?
Sure. I mean, if you're asleep, you might be functioning with the same, like, mindset as a creature that attacks either whatever's closest or whatever hit it last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably that.
That makes sense.
kind of tunnel visioned a little bit. So I'm just gonna say how you do make it around the preoccupied Ken, who is asleep still.
Asleep but dreaming of shadow people.
Dreaming of shadow people attacking him. Dandy Jack is going to now pull out a smoke grenade and light it, and kind of rolls it over towards Ken.
I use catch missile.
How do you catch something that's being rolled? Oh wait, okay, I guess, yeah, I guess.
You can use your reaction to deflect or catch a missile when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack. To do so, the damage...
But he's not hitting you.
He's not hitting you. It's kind of, it's more or less... I'm gonna say, yes, you can intercept it, but when you do,
you can pick it up and it just...
the smoke bomb detonates in your hand. It doesn't do any damage, it's just now the shadow people have disappeared into a puff of smoke, and Daddy Jack pulls Howle by the back of his hospital gown into the door. Into the Mage Academy.
Ken is gonna spend a key point to throw it at the direction it came from.
Okay.
Because that's something he can do with deflect missiles.
Okay, yeah.
So some of the smoke is in the upward direction now.
Yeah. So yeah, you picked up the smoke grenade was rolled to you. You picked it up and yeeted it at the door. That's behind Dandy Jack and Howle. It does detonate. Dandy Jack still does grab Howle by the back of the hospital gown and pulls you behind the door and shuts it. Ken, the dream smoke clears and the shadow people are gone.
Where are these shadow people?
Meanwhile, you're now in the presentation room of the Mage Academy with Dandy Jack. Howle, what do you do?
I suppose the first thing I should probably do is make an Arcana check to find out what part of the academy this particular item would be in, right?
Yeah, this is going to be very easy for you because you've studied charms, you've studied potions, you've studied everything.
Can I do it with advantage then?
You're very studious. Yes, you can.
Awesome.
You're very studious. Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. I got a 5 and a 1.
That's absolutely fine. You actually,
oh, God.
Luckily for you, there's like a I think it's called a Triton. There's like a Triton transfer student who was using the presentation room for their presentation on charms and such. And so there's like a long table set up inside of the stone circle, and there are a series of charms on the table, and one of them just so happens to have the very shiny pearl, have a very shiny pearl in it. And with an Arcana, it's very easy for you because you're so studious. You recognize it as the charm that Dandy Jack needs.
I guess I'd go grab it and give it to him then?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so you grab the charm and you give it to Dandy Jack and he says, "Oh, thanks. You're rather stealthy."
I try.
I didn't expect you to be as stealthy as you are, but there you go. I'll sneaking around a bit.
Spent a lot of childhood doing that.
Ever thought about being a thief?
I'm royalty, so it never crossed my mind, I guess. I mean, I'm not really...
Well, if you think about it...
royal myself.
Royalty and people in power are the biggest thieves of us all.
Yeah, but it's less... storybook when we do it.
I guess. He goes over to a window in the presentation hall and he flashes. He has a small bulb, and he has a small bulb and he starts flashing it in the wall, and you slowly see that the cat balloon starts to make its way slowly from the hospital wing to the presentation room. Yes, well, thanks. I still feel like I'm in your debt, so I'm gonna clear my conscience right now. And he pulls a ring off of his finger. Where is his? It's not extras. It's his inventory. There we go. He pulls off a ring from his finger, and he tosses it over to you. It is a little gold ring with a bejeweled hummingbird. It's very pretty. It's green and blue, and everything. And he says, "Yeah. Now I don't know you anything." And then he flashes the charm, puts it in his pocket, and then jumps out the window. And slowly,
I'm like familiar enough with him that I could potentially try to use sending on him, right? Actually,
sure. I mean, definitely after this experience.
It's an invocation though, so probably not.
And I don't get why would it being invocation matter?
It's a warlock thing.
Oh, okay. I was like,
because I wanted to like say something before
I was
we left,
thinking
but...
invocation was in the School of Magic.
Oh no, it's an eldritch invocation.
But yeah, your reasoning is sound. So, I mean, if you want,
I'll just have to remember the message for later.
There's an open window, and I think everyone is not gonna. I don't think anyone's gonna care. It's up to you, I guess.
I just kind of like yell after him. I'm sorry, I misjudged you.
It's all right. I'm a bastard. As he flies away, you see that his crew is composed of like elementary school aged tabaxi. There's a black one. There's a black one and a white one, and there's this big orange furry one, and all of them are those ones are surrounding a little gray one, who appears to be the one who needs the charm. And as the balloon floats away, you see Dandy Jack kneel and present the charm to the little gray one, and the little gray one instantly looks better. There's like a flourish of magic, and now it's just you alone in the presentation room of the Magical Academy with a mysterious ring that Dandy Jack just tossed to you.
Before I sneak back around Ken, I would definitely like to make an Arcana check on it if I can.
Go ahead.
I don't have like Identify or anything like that.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Okay, well yeah, with a dirty 20, you identify this as a ring of evasion. It's a ring of evasion. It's got 3 charges. Go ahead and add that. Go ahead and add that to your inventory. It is yours now. And as you look over the ring, you feel like the beating of teeny tiny little wings, and there's a little tap on your shoulder. Hi. It's Mixie at night. Mixie, level up Pixie at night. Hey, so you can go ahead and add that level in Rogue now. Goodbye.
Thanks.
Yeah, and
then I'm immediately just, why did I say that?
Yeah. That is the end of this little adventure that we're going on with Howle.
Now, do I add a class?
You have
there we go. Never mind, I found out the bottom.
Cool. Just remember to add the ring of evasion, just so, because I just removed it from Dandy Jack's inventory.
Oh yeah, I grabbed it, put it in my
definitely make sure
inventory.
you got it so that I don't forget it. How do you plan on spending the rest of the evening, the night until the morning?
I want to find sort of like something I can read about being a rogue, because now I'm intrigued.
Okay. You remember storybooks of pirates and assassins, and there are storybooks about every different kind of class, like fairy tales and such, in the study, which is just down the hall.
No more needing to sneak past Ken. I can just stay here all night.
So do you spend the rest of the night in the study reading books about pirates and assassins?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And a new day dawns. Ken, you find yourself, when you wake up, you are no longer in the bedroom that you remember falling asleep in. You are, for some reason, all the way up at the airship docking place, way up in the Paternian Spire. And you're awakened by seagull dung being planted firmly on your forehead.
Catch missile.
Rude.
Catch missile. Okay. So okay, how do you end of Kung Fu Panda 2 this? How do you skadoosh this seagull poop out?
it starts to fall on his head. Ken quickly reaches up and grabs it before it hits his head, then looks down and opens his palm, and there's seagull shit on his head.
But Ken's awake. David and Blue wake up in their rooms. Howle wakes up, having fallen asleep in the armchair in the study. Artosh awakes in the hospital, sucking, now with bigger predatorial teeth on Howle's boomerang. And Skortch, we're gonna start with you walking into the hospital wing to check on your friend, your brother, but only Artosh is there.
But the boomerang is also there.
The boomerang is there, and Artosh is nibbling on it.
I'm assuming I know that signal, yeah?
I would have told you if it was.
I mean, unless you want to make a groggy intelligence check and mistake it and risk mistaking it for Artosh eating Howle. Which would be funny, but I'm not gonna make you do anything.
I'm not gonna mistake it for a howl, but I'm going to roll anyway. Oh, come on.
I mean, you know your brother well enough that if you go, hey, he's missing, to, like, look in specific places, right?
We'll see.
Like, there are a number of different places you could choose, so you could still be wrong.
At a 16, it, like, takes you a second to be like, wait, okay, so he's not here. We left the boomerang. Alright, he's probably fine. Artosh didn't eat him. That would be silly. Where does Skortch go after this?
I definitely want to be, I want to convene with Etheria on tactics.
It's time for breakfast then. Woo! You pass by the study, and Howle, you are now blinking awake in the armchair, still in your hospital gown, by the way. As Skortch passes by the common study room with the big fire and the storybooks.
Skortch,
Hey.
what you doing?
I need to prepare. There's so much to prepare.
What are you preparing for?
Right. You weren't there. We're getting sued by Split Boy.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Like, okay, let me get dressed, and then I want to come with you. I gotta be able to do something, right?
It's at this point, Blu Moon, you step out of your room and you see Skortch talking to the study. Blue, stop playing Minecraft.
I, in fact, am not. I was listening to what Blaze was telling me, but yes.
Oh, sure. All right.
Can you cooperate?
I can vouch for this, Your Honor.
Minecraft's been closed since the first 5 minutes of this session.
Okay. So yeah, Blue, you step out of the prince's rooms. The prince's rooms and you see Skortch talking to the study.
Well, I of course come out in my best looking suit that Blue owns, because you know it's court day. Well, we gotta go represent. So he comes out in the suit. Hey, Skortch, have you seen Howle?
He's right here.
Right here. Hi.
Oh, okay, so there you
You
are.
see, again, Blue. You see Howle in the hospital robe, sitting in the chair.
Are you gonna get anything else on for the day?
Well, I was going to when I woke up, but Ken was guarding the hallways like a guard dog. Yeah, he was sleepwalking, I'm pretty sure. Probably.
And sleepwalks?
I guess he does, yeah.
David now joins the conversation. He's like, yeah, he punched me in the middle of the night, so I let him out of the room so I could sleep.
A dog.
That makes sense.
I hope he didn't cause anyone any trouble.
No, not at all.
Wait till I get this.
Ken, you're currently walking down the many flights of stairs down from the airship docks.
Okay, if I'm doing that, then Ken would have definitely found like some like a fine silk fender just come in from somewhere across the sea or wherever, however far away, and he would, looking at the seagull poop on his hands, just kind of look at the silk and just like wipe it on one, just like it's just a cloth to him. Really,
I do not think that there are. So there is not the only airship there. There's only 2 airships there. One is an experiment by the Queen, and the other one. Well, actually, no. There's only one because Uatu collapsed back into the shield. So there's only one airship there. Airships are a budding technology. And the first one to ever be seen was actually Uatu, and the Queen Etheria is tinkering with it. And Danny Jack stole the first prototype. So so there are currently only 3 airships. There's Uatu, there's the Queen. I've dubbed it the Parasol, and then there's the Dandy Cat. So yeah, no, I mean you can be looking around as you're walking down these many flights of stairs for something to wipe this seagull tongue off of your hand, but there's no merchants up at the airship docks.
Sure, I'll do.
I would imagine that there's banners everywhere.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Then he'd see a banner on the wall or something and just go, "Oh, look, a cloth."
Excellent, excellent. Those of you who are down in the castle, you see a very flustered Maud come running down the hallway. Maud is the new head butler since Fred Sanfordson has been, found out to be evil, and then the evil walked away. But this is her first day on the job as the head butler, and she's like. For those of you who don't know what Maud looks like, go ahead and Google B. Arthur. All of the staff of the castle are named off of great sitcom characters, and Maud is a spin-off character from. Well, Maud has her own show, and she was played by B. Arthur, and she's awesome. Anyway, so Maud shows up. She's like panting. Well then, Grace has sent me to tell you guys that breakfast is ready. I'm so sorry. It's my first day in this promotion.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Try to take it easy. You're not gonna get it all in one day.
You better get it all in one day.
Well,
when you say that, like Maud, like she goes white in the face because now she feels like there's so much pressure on her.
Pressure.
Come on, that's mean.
On your way back down the stairs, maybe review, the proper way to greet the royalty.
Right. She does.
Pressure.
She does like a full bow, like almost like too low. Like there's a second where she like almost loses balance in her bow, and then she gets back up like all prim and proper and straight laced, and she like straightens her tie. And yes, so if there's anything you need me to get done, I will command Brayden to do that, and whatever else Fred Sanfordson used to do.
Appreciated. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, your highnesses and lords and ladyships. And then she bustles away.
Blue, she's doing her best.
Was that entirely necessary?
What do you mean entirely necessary? We're back home. We're still royalty and all.
Yeah, but it was her first day, man.
You don't have to stress her out.
First day as our royal butler, replacing our once past superior and better one. So she should at least be equal to.
Do you have any idea how much time Fred probably spent skulking and not doing the rest of his duties? There's plenty of time in the day.
Hey, you know what? I have a perfect idea.
Then let her learn that, so when I tell her that next time, she can come back with a witty one-liner and, be better well defended against it. But there, she went all white in the face. She doesn't know how we act around here yet. Anyway, that's the least of our problems right now.
Blue should totally have to fill the role for a bit.
Sure.
It's at that point, David looks over at the portraits, and he's like, "Hold on a second. These are all the butlers in these portraits. They're all Fred Sanfordson."
You're just seeing this?
Yeah. Except for this first one. This mustache doesn't look quite right. and from a distance, the Kung Fu chill rides up Ken's spine as someone is critiquing his artwork.
Yeah, no, that was Ken.
I wonder if there are
You're
any...
not supposed to tell on him.
No, I'm
Ken
totally
Ken gets the feeling in his head. Snitch.
Okay, let's just smash cut to breakfast now. Sausages, eggs, pancakes, waffles, anything you want! Anything you want! Anything you want, Will and Grace has prepared it!
That's it, you've upset me, I'm making breakfast now.
Ken has found some pancakes in he's outside of the wherever they are, but he's like found a pancake vendor or something.
The Paternian Spire is part of Castle Paternia. You never left the castle.
Oh, okay.
So you have arrived at breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Inside Castle Paternia, overlooking all of Paternia from this very wonderful venue, from this very balcony area.
Well, he's looking for pancakes.
And you can find them on the table.
And so he does.
Yeah. And someone else is joining you guys for breakfast. It's Samuel. Samuel is joining you guys for breakfast. He doesn't eat. He's an angel. I mean, he doesn't need to eat, so he doesn't. But he's joined you guys to talk about stuff.
Oh, good. You can bring me up to speed a little bit.
Ah, hello.
Yes, just so you know, this is Samuel. He's here, he's your attorney?
Yeah, Skortch told me we were being sued.
Yeah. Your ex-patron has asked me. Well, your ex-patron has lawyered up with a demon, and he has. Oh, sorry, I forgot the mic. Okay, there he goes. There he is. There's Samuel. Samuel. So your ex-patron is lawyered up because you have.
Sent it.
Hmm.
You hadn't sent it.
I hadn't,
on
but
the
there it
stream.
is. So your ex-patron has lawyered up with a devil, dealy type, because you violated the patronal. I don't know. There's not a good word for it. The patron contract.
All right.
And so, basically, what I wanted to know before we got started with all of that nonsense is, what do you guys plan on? We need to get straight on what we're pleading. Do you or do you not agree that your actions were in violation of the very simple, very straightforward pact that you made with the Aboleth?
I can see that he has some legal standing.
A little?
I didn't say little, I said some. That is not a descriptive term. While we did contribute to him being locked away, does it matter at all what his intentions were, either before or after the pact was made?
Well, all that matters is the wording in the pact, and the pact clearly states that it was an exchange of power for his own freedom, and you took actions that brought his freedom to be farther away than not. You actively pursued a more locked up imprisonment by defeating him in battle and reciting the ancient incantation that locked him away in the first place.
I was not conscious for that.
Exactly. You were taken over. And so really all we have to fight for, really, because you were taken over, yes, but you did help him try to escape. Your body did, at the very least. Your sister, on the other hand, very much did not. So...
She was acting under duress. He was attacking, yes?
I suppose he was.
Is there any statute of limitations on this on this thing? Because he could have claimed that she was violating the contract like weeks ago when we, broke her from the contract.
Well, That's a very
It's
good
true,
question.
he didn't really bring it up much until it became extremely inconvenient.
As a matter of fact, I don't recall ever being served.
Oh, that's just you, Ken.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I mean, yeah, you're not exactly the person
the
involved.
The inciting incident to all of this was him taking Ken. Like, he probably would have killed him if we hadn't stepped in.
Ken, do you corroborate this?
Off the record, I totally could have taken him. On the record, definitely.
You corroborate that he initiated a physical altercation.
Definitely.
Now this we can use. This we can use in court. But we still need to plead guilty or not guilty.
I
We
want
can
to plead not guilty.
Not guilty. What that would entail is that you are saying that you did not take steps to further imprison your former patron instead of taking actions that would result in his freedom. But we
I want to target the validity of the contract itself, because we were children.
Are you still not children?
Yeah, and what is the laws?
In
Pacts with
In the-
Fae and demons don't exactly have
Quite frankly,
any
they don't give a crap.
age requirements on them. If the deal has been made, the deal has been made.
Deal is struck is a deal is struck. That's gotta be fulfilled.
There's a winner and there's a loser, and sadly, we're on the losing end of this.
What I will tell you is this: the cosmic court is beyond time. So once I take us there, and when we come back, it'll be like no time passed at all. So quite literally, we can do this at any time. But the longer we wait, the better deal the patron is going to get in the end.
Real quick, Skortch, it's gonna be hard to completely say you're not guilty in this situation because you are currently, well, absolutely separated from the being that you were once part of.
Well,
Howle
she...
at least is still semi into it. I understand. It's just we might not be able to fight for complete freedom and absolution of any sort of charge on Skortch's end.
To be fair, she was no longer under the terms of the pact when she said the words, I suppose. So,
Yeah.
like, would that not matter in some way?
Yeah,
Well,
this entire altercation happened after I broke the pact.
The pact was broken, and it was done in self-defense and defense of a friend. That does matter somewhat, does it not?
It does for that argument. The only problem I would see in counter-argument against that is you, for an exchange of the power, were locked into taking steps to free him. And on your trip, you have now gained better power and then cut the contract. Now, cutting the contract, cutting any contract is already poor. It's not really the thing you want to do.
It's not necessarily the end of the story, though. She did cut the contract, but she never said she was going to stop trying to fulfill her end of the bargain.
She could have kept both domains of power. It's a lot for a person to handle, but...
Could she?
One being, I mean,
Can I make an Arcana check?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check, yeah.
I have expertise now.
Heck
As I get a nat 1. Fucking hell.
Well, your Arcana check is on your sister, correct?
Yes?
Roll again.
Okay.
Roll again.
That's better.
Okay, yeah. So through this whole magical journey, you all have come to the realization that you are all chosen by the elemental beings to be reincarnated, with their spirits. You guys are reincarnated elemental spirits. Skortch, being the elemental reincarnation of fire, has more than enough spiritual tenacity to handle 2 pacts.
It's the same case in my regard, Howle, of how I've transferred any of that deep-seated anger and hatred I have temporarily over, and now I don't have it in me. I mean, there's the possibility of it coming back, but that balance was sorted out and made. I didn't try to throw it away or ignore it. I dealt with it and have reallocated it.
You, of course, have a very good point.
I would absolutely love to continue taking this conversation, but I've got like 500,000 more cases. So the sooner we can, as soon as we can nail down what our plea is, the sooner I can get us into court, the sooner I can get us out of court, and sooner I can get on to other cases. Time is wibbly wobbly, but I still have a quota to fill.
That is fair.
So would it be a good argument to make that Howle should not be charged for these crimes because the only reason he was even being charged at all is because of what Skortch did previously, and he is using as whiplash, like from the patron, as he's now lost. One of the two people that were going to free him. I don't know if my point's coming across really clear here.
So what you're saying is we plea one guilty, one innocent.
And then we work on diminishing the charge as best as we can on Skortch.
Now that I can work with. And he snaps his fingers, and you're all transported to this, to a very beautiful, opulent, cosmic courtroom. And sitting on the other side of the bench, there is a devil with an emo haircut, cool horns, and he's got bony wings and a spade tail, ripped up suit and everything. He's sitting beside the humanoid, inky, tendril-y, humanoid, no junk having form of your former ex-patron. And standing beside the judge's podium, is this like super like mega roided out like half angel, half demon. Like take like any half angel, half demon OC that you find on Tumblr or DeviantArt and just give him all of the universe's possible steroids. That is the guy running security here at the Cosmic Court of Law. And this guy says, "All rise for the Honorable Judge Eyeball of Odin." And the eyeball of this eyeball comes out in a little wig and a little vest, in a little robe with a little gavel, and it kind of rolls up and like hops up to the judge's podium, and the eyeball speaks thusly.
Yes. So, all right. Let me just look here at these papers. Okay, we're here to deliberate on the course. The case of human tongues. Tyrant v. Skortch and Howle. I see. Hello, Samuel. Hello, Rich. Nice to see you guys again. Has it been a busy eternity?
And Rich guy says,
"Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been so busy. So many naughty warlocks trying to weasel out of their patron packs. Aren't they right? Isn't that right, Samuel?"
Listen, Rich. We'll get to that. And so Judge Eyeball says,
"Okay, all right, okay, all right. So, would the accuser please state the case?"
And Rich guy stands up and he says,
"Well, I intend to prove that my client was wrongfully robbed of his freedom by these two warlocks who made a very simple, very cut and dry pact to gain phenomenal cosmic power. I mean, look at this guy's pecs. In exchange for the freedom of his meat body."
And then a Rich guy sits down, and Samuel stands up, and Judge Eyeball says,
"Okay, what does the defendants have to say?"
We would like to plea one case of innocent and one case of guilty." And Judge Eyeball says,
"Alrighty then. Rich Guy, would you call your first witness to the stand? And Rich Guy says, yes, I would like to call, Howle of Paternia to the stand.
Okay.
Cool. And then Howell walks up to the stand, and the roided out half angel, half demon puts it looks like a completely blank, like, slate. But when you put your hand on it, it turns into what is a book that Howell would swear by?
I mean, I imagine it would be something like the Law of Paternia or something like that.
Okay, but Paternian law book appears before you, and you swear in on it. Now, Mr. Howell, what is your relationship with the other warlock on trial today?
She is my twin sister.
Twin sister. And so, I understand that twins like to think as one. Is this a fair assessment?
I don't think that it's always the case, no.
Okay, but you tend to do most things together as brother and sisters, is correct?
Yes.
And, was one of these together activities, just did it happen to be making a pact with my client?
Yes, it was.
Do you remember I suppose you do, but do you remember the exact wording of the deal?
I believe it was something like we needed to help him gain his freedom.
And for the court, did you try and help him gain his freedom?
Yes.
Could you elaborate?
Well, even beyond being under his control, I did lots of research on trying to find ways to free beings such as himself, and during the course of our journey, I bonded with him quite a bit. I tried to get to know him from the perspective of more than just patron and warlock.
All right.
I can't say the entire experience was...
The accuser rests. It's your witness, Samuel.
And Samuel
Okay.
walks up and he says, now, Hal, would you elaborate to the court the details of the last encounter that you had with your patron?
Yes, we went down to find out. We heard footsteps. We thought somebody might have been in the area, so we went to go check it out, and...
For clarity in the court, where did you hear these alleged footsteps?
In, like, the hallways in the castle above the aboleths area.
Let the record show that these alleged footsteps were in Castle Paternia, and that they were investigating them for what reason?
We just wanted to make sure that whoever it was safe.
And did you ever find out who were responsible for these mysterious footsteps?
I don't think so.
All right. Now, we were talking back to your story about the last encounter you had with your patron.
Yes, well... When we were down there, Ken was grabbed and we leapt to defend him.
Now, what I'm hearing is that your patron initiated an altercation with a close personal friend of yours.
Yes.
Did, to your understanding, was the patron aware of not only you and your sister, but all of the members of your party?
Yes, he has been with us for our entire journey, and we have been with the same person that he attacked, as well as the rest of our group.
So it wouldn't be out of the realm of question that the patron might have been provoking an attack.
It does seem that way, yes.
Objection. An attack is exactly kind of what he needed to try to break free.
Sustained. To your witness. Well, let's see. Well, And he kind of gives you like a shaky-eyed look, like he's not really sure where to go from here, because that was a good objection. The defense.
Really?
Is there anything that you would like to say before I rest? You as a witness.
I don't think that attacking a person would have caused us to release him. It does not seem like that would have been in his best interest if he wanted freedom.
What you're saying is that, if I'm hearing this correctly, you're trying to say that it would have been a more efficient and an easier course of action to just explain how to free him instead of, taking up this physical altercation with your friend.
Using words and talking to one another would have much more likely allowed us to free him than to attack one of our own and make us defend him. Yes.
Alright, the defense rests. Okay. Judge Eyeball says, alright, it is, Samuel, it's your turn to call a witness. Yes. I would like to call, Ken of the Misty Mountains to the stand.
And Ken gets up out of his chair, which is far too small for him. So the chair kind of walks with him a little bit. But he shoves it off, and maybe there's a few splinters in it now. And he walks up to the stand and sits down, and the chair is too small for him. So he kind of kicks it back.
The same roided out half angel, half demon, and puts the same like kind of black slate in front of you, and it transforms into a book that Ken would swear by. And that book might be what exactly?
Ken can't read.
Ken can't read, so does it not transform into any book?
I would say it transforms, perhaps.
It stays a slab, but it says place hand here.
Yeah, I like that.
And here I was thinking it was gonna transform into like a Kung Fu Forms scroll, but I like that.
Actually, Ken cannot read, but he does like the pictures.
He does like the pictures. Okay, so yeah. And so yeah, Ken gets sworn in, and Samuel walks up and says, Ken, can you recount for the court the altercation you had with the aboleth?
I suppose I can. So, we were running downstairs to see what these... Actually, why were we running downstairs again? I'm sorry. It was right after a bath, and I was incredibly relaxed. Anyway, so we were going downstairs and walking, and we saw a pit in the middle of the hallway. We couldn't see down into the pit, so of course we traversed the pit in our ways. Mine was flying. Then we killed a few monsters. One was a mimic, I believe. If you know what a mimic is, it's like it's what looks like a treasure chest, but actually has teeth and a tongue, and it's terrible. After doing that, we descended down again to solve some puzzles, which I had absolutely no help in, because I am obviously very smart.
Oh yes.
And after solving the puzzles, we descended down and found the patron. And upon me reaching the ground floor where the patron was, he immediately grabbed me and started flinging me around, and I had no choice but to take that into consideration when I punched his face into the dirt.
You said that the patron immediately grabbed you. Was there no conversation at all preceding the alleged grabbing?
Yes, there was no conversation at all. Not to me, in any way. He just grabbed me and then started talking and flinging me around.
Very well. When the patron grabbed you, how did that make you feel?
Well, it really felt like he was trying to break my shell, honestly, and that's kind of it's a bit of a euphemism we among the turtle community have for it's similar to busting your balls. That kind of thing. He was really trying to undermine me, and I just felt like that was honestly a hate crime.
So you feel like this definitely was not a friendly, tentacly hug?
Definitely not. It in fact hurt quite a lot. I was left at I would say I was left at a rating of about 33 out of 57 at that time.
That's a very specific rating. Yep. It's Mr. Guy. This is your witness. And Rich Guy steps back up. Now, Ken, I understand that you're not really smart. Like,
Action, Your Honor, he's insulting me.
Like, at all. I don't think you're very... I understand that you're not very smart at all.
Objection, Your Honor, I want to punch him in the face.
So, can you even remember what you were doing this morning? Let alone what happened the alleged night of the incident?
Well, as for this morning, yes, I woke up on the docks of Paternia, and I immediately noticed a seagull was about to poop on my head, and so I caught the seagull poop.
Now, I find that to be very peculiar that you were able to notice a stray piece of seagull feces, but you were not able to notice a whole conversation that happened preceding the fight. How are we to know that you did not provoke my client in any way?
Shit.
Either through no action or just a stray comment that you don't remember.
Well, I remember you looking like an absolute buffoon.
Well, that's happening right now. That's not relevant to the case.
But it is relevant to the case, because how can he have such a reliable lore when you come here dressed like that?
I came from hell. This is how everyone in hell dresses. This is hell high fashion, unlike those shorts. the accuser rests.
Excuse me, sir. These shorts are Gucci.
Ken, you're dismissed from the witness box. It is now Rich Guy's turn for another witness, and he calls the patron to the stand, and the patron gets sworn in.
Oh no.
The patron gets sworn in, and the black tablet that the half angel, half demon roided out security guy places before him. It looks like a black slate, but then it like transforms into something that almost looks like it comes instead of like it's like Arcana like based. It doesn't look. It looks like out of place in our setting because it's not fantasy at all. It almost looks like future Lovecraftian tech, and he swears upon it with all of his he reaches down all of the tentacles on his humanoid form and swears on it. Now, Mr. Tyrant, my client, would you please, for the court, explain what you believe, what you have placed for to be the patron deal?
Yes. So it was a very simple deal. I supplied them power, allowed them to grow like a beautiful flower, and in return, they would help me escape.
And of your own knowledge, Mr. Tyrant, would you point out to the court the very warlocks that you gave this deal to? And with two of his tentacles, he points out Skortch and Howle, and Rich Guy says, "Let the record show that he's pointing to Skortch and Howle." And now, Mr. Tyrant, one last question: would you please describe for the court the nature of your relationship with Skortch and Howle, how they treated you, how they used your powers, etc., etc.?
Well, Skortch is always a bit of a fiery one, pun intended.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
You're a witness.
Overruled.
Skortch has always been a fiery one, always being very protective, always being very passionate. Howle is more of a recluse, being very studious. Howle used my power several times to escape various binds that he found himself in when he was all alone. And Skortch used my power to help other people. And I can't help but feel that that same tenacity for help could have been used to help me, the very entity that helped them, by giving them power.
It's your witness, Samuel.
Well, Mr. Tyrant, would you please recount for the court how you remember the altercation, the verbal altercation going down before you escalated it into a physical one?
Well, they wanted to know a bit more about my intentions.
And those intentions were?
Well, what I really wanted to do was to escape from my bondage and become free.
To what ends, Mr. Tyrant?
Well, I wanted to return to my people among the stars. I was sent to the planet in order to try to terraform it, make it more suitable for my kind. And I found intelligent creatures there, and as I was instructed, I tried to subjugate them.
And this was not effective. Would you like to explain how you managed to be trapped?
Yes, I was thwarted and trapped inside of an ancient arcane lock. The very arcane lock that Skortch used to reseal me. I was placed there by the bastard Patrick, founder of Paternia, the first king of Paternia.
And why did you reach out to Skortch and Howle?
Powerful magic users. You could always use more powerful magic users to try to break me free.
Was there anything that Skortch and Howle or any of the party said that would cause you to become enraged and would warrant an attack on Ken over here?
I remember just reflecting a lot, and I came to a very scary realization. I realized that I had changed so much in my time engaged that I would, if I did get back to my people, I would be seen as a failure. And I felt very angry, I suppose that it was not anything that they said in particular, but a sort of awakening of my own insecurities that caused me to lash out on Ken. And for the record, Ken, I'm sorry.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Ken looks away and just kind of picks his nose, but with the middle finger.
And Ken, and Tyrant goes and sits back down. It is now Samuel's witness, and Samuel says, well, he kind of whispers over at you, Skortch, and says, I think you're the last card to play. So, and he stands up and he says, I would like to call Skortch of Paternia to the stand.
Could I, just ask one, quick thing?
To whom?
Not Howle to anyone necessarily, but me to you as the DM.
Go for it.
So, my eldritch patron is sitting right there. I'm theoretically wondering if I could sending at him and just sort of begin a discussion of what if we help you peacefully learn to coexist here. If you're not accepted back home, and you don't have a place to go back to, and we should find out if he's able to, what if we helped him rebuild here for himself? No more terraforming, no more terrifying people.
Go ahead and give me a... You're very well versed in Paternian law. And so you assume that it might this cosmic court must work very similarly. Go ahead and give me either maybe a history check. Yeah, give me a good history check. Like you have advantage. Go ahead and give me a history check with advantage.
Nat 20.
Okay. With a nat
Nice.
20, you understand that, messaging, passing like notes in class and passing notes in court, same deal. It's generally if you get caught, it's frowned upon. And you're looking at this big eyeball judge.
Yes, but I am trying to
definitely sees
amicably solve a problem.
right. So with a nat 20, I'm gonna tell you that it would be a better idea to tell Samuel, and so that Samuel might be able to make a deal with Rich Guy and Tyrant. But right now Skortch is at the stand, and the black slate is placed before Skortch. What does Skortch get? What does Skortch swear in on?
Some name of a super powerful mage and their theories on magical law.
Okay, so you can that come to mind is the Wand King, King David II, or his wife Bella. You can choose either one. They're very renowned mages, or you could choose Florine or your aunt.
I'll go with Bella.
Okay, you swear on the life and times of Queen Bella of Paternia. And Samuel walks up and says, "Now, Skortch, for the court, can you recount the altercation with your patron, from your perspective, of course?"
Starting from when?
Well, from the final altercation with the final altercation with your patron as it stands.
Okay, so he had taken Ken, and so we jumped down after him, and it hadn't been the original intention to take him out. We just wanted Ken back. And in the midst of the fighting, we found the runic circles with the phrase, and we figured it out, and kind of a bit late whenever we finally did, and so he was reduced to squid form by the time that I sealed him.
Ah. So was it always your it wasn't always your intention to seal him further? What was actually your intention from the very beginning?
The intention was to prevent more people from coming in. So it was to seal his chamber, but not him specifically.
All right. Now, I understand that you had, at one point, broken your connection magically to Tyrant, and was then operating with another patron. And could you explain the details of that and your new patron to the court?
My new patron is kind of myself. So we're reincarnations of powerful elemental spirits. So I had been under the impression that my pact had transferred to me that's the elemental spirit.
Is this accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Very well. When you broke off the pact with the patron, was your intention still to take actions to try to free the patron?
No, I was operating under the assumption that he was a threat to Paternia if free.
I see. He kind of he you can like see him like biting his lip because that is there any case that you could make for your brother as to whether or not he intended to free the aboleth?
He was just following me at the time, and he did get taken over, possessed, whatever mind control-y bullshit happened there, in order to free him, and he did open the wall.
It's at this point that Samuel is kind of like leaning on the back, like leaning like with his hands back on the table where you, Howle, are sitting. Everyone else is back in the rows behind him. So, Howle did help and try to free the aboleth, even if you did not.
Yes.
It is, Guy, your witness. And he sits down kind of dejected. He doesn't really know where to go from here. Guy gets up, rich guy gets up on the stand and says, listen, Toots, it's pretty obvious to me that you definitely, did not even, it's not even like, you didn't even try to hold up the end of your bargain. I have watched the footage. You levied attack after attack after attack on your former patron, and it doesn't really seem like you really wanted to set the guy free. And did the aboleth ever give you like what under what exactly did this your patron do to make you believe that if he was freed, that he would be a threat to your homeland?
Well, the first time I had ever actually seen his real form, it was him pulling Ken down into darkness. I'd assume that was indicative of his personality.
Well.
Oh dear.
Well, I rest my case. Judge Eyeball says, well, now it's time for closing statements. Any plea, deal, or of any kind, let it be brought forth for me to hear, so that I may pass judgment. Rich guy, closing statements. Well, Your Honor, my client has been wronged by, if not both, of these warlocks, by at least one. A fiery red-headed vixen who has nothing but contempt and evil in her heart for the very, very kind, tentacled abomination that helped nurture her magical potential. And the other one was very kind, and yes, did help by offering the form that he has, and did indeed clear a path. So, we are asking for a 90% reduction on the magical seal that was reinstated by Skortch.
That seems like a lot for half and half.
Also for the damage to my shell, which will this is so hard to repair. Just so you know, this isn't paper mache.
Samuel is sweating bullets, Howle, and he's about to stand up. It's now or never.
I want to do the thing. I want to I don't know if I'm gonna bother trying to use sending. I'll just try to
Slip him a note.
either note or whisper or something.
Yeah, so Samuel, like, half stands up, and you, like, grab his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah? Rehabilitation.
There has to be a way we can offer him a peaceful coexistence on our planet.
So that the pact will be fulfilled, and he will have his freedom.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I want, if he is not going to cause harm to anyone that doesn't deserve it, I want him to have freedom. I just don't know that we can trust him. But I want to offer the ability for him to live and coexist peacefully.
Samuel stands up and says, Your Honor, I have just been persuaded by Howle to offer an opportunity to the patron to have his contract fulfilled. Howle has just suggested that the Aboleth be freed and given the opportunity to contact his people, and if his people do not accept him as he is, and as he has become, that he will be allowed back in Paternia, and under the condition that he does not harm any Paternian citizens, or continue to do so, or make any attempts to do so, that he will find a peaceful cohabitational situation among the Paternian peoples, and thusly be free. Rich guy says, "Oh, that's a whole load of," and then he gets like stopped by the tentacle of Tyrant, and Tyrant says, "Yes, I agree.
I agree to these terms. Yes, my freedom. That's all I wanted is my freedom. And if you I just want the opportunity. Yes."
Judge Eyeball says, "So you agree to these? You agree to settle this right here and now with this cohabitation program in the event that you cannot return to your people?"
Yes, yes. That's all I've ever. I just want to go back. I just want to see my family and my people again. That's all I desire. It's all I've ever wanted. Well, that's not true. I wanted to enslave humanity and other sentient creatures here, but now that's all I want is to return back.
It's time that I now go into a vegetative state to look into many alternate realities and see how this decision that I'm about to make will play out. And Judge Eyeball kind of milks over as like almost as if he is almost like an eyeball that's gone blind, and he like kind of like he's like been floating a little bit, like hovering like the slightest bit at the podium, but like when he milks over into this blind eye form, he completely like stops levitating and kind of rocks like a pokeball on the podium. And the courtroom is in silent anticipation. Unless you guys want to whisper to each other stuff. In which case, go ahead and whisper while you can.
Got nothing.
I think you really nailed this in the coffin. I don't think you could get much better of a deal than this. Good job, Howle.
He gives a silent nod.
And after a couple of minutes, the eyeball starts to levitate again, and the milkiness resides, and Judge Eyeball returns to his full normal-looking eye. And he says, "Okay, after quite deliberation and peering into many alternate timelines, I only see one timeline where this could possibly go bad, and that's good. That's good enough for me. Just only one timeline where this all could go very, very bad. So I see by the power entrusted in me by gods of gods of gods of gods of gods beyond the many alternate planes and above all realms and above all heavens and beneath all hells, by my ultimate authority in this cosmic case, I hereby allow a rehabilitation program. I award it to Tyrant as to be facilitated by Paternian citizens, Skortch and Howle," and he strikes the gavel down, and you guys are whisked away back into back where you were eating, back like the exact second that you were eating breakfast back in Castle Paternia. Samuel is no longer there, and at the head of the table, you see King David, like, he was, like, halfway biting into toast, and he's like, where did the angel go?
Our business with him is concluded.
Oh. Alright.
I'm done.
He goes back to eating breakfast.
I want to begin to, like, summarize the agreement we've made.
And he spits out his orange juice. You did what?
Listen, he has had a lot of time to think and change. I think this is what is best. Not to mention, it prevents him from coming back to us with a vengeance because we didn't make nice with him. If we lost that case, he would have come back a lot sooner. And angrier.
Well,
At least he's
I don't know a whole lot, my boys and girl. I do know that the aboleth is very bad, and very evil, and very scary, and that my great he like tried to see you see him trying to do the mental math about how many greats Patrick was, but he just can't do it. Great.
Listen, no, I see where you're coming from, I do, but he came here with a task that would have definitely been a harm to us if he completed it, and he no longer needs to complete that task, so he's not a threat to us in the way he used to be.
I see.
His people are another story. They might give us some trouble, but I feel like it should be fine.
Well, so I will. Fine. I'll let the Myconids know that we're going to be tearing down that wall again, and I will put some Paternian guards down there to help facilitate the transport. And we're going to just cut to Paternian soldiers slowly taking down the wall with help from very, very roided out Myconids. And Skortch and Howle, you've watched as the last stone is removed, and the enormous golden shackles of the aboleth, where you left the aboleth last you locked him away.
Well, there he goes.
Yeah. So how do you guys go about relocating the aboleth?
Well, before we actually get out of there, I wanted to threaten him now that we're not in court.
So yeah, it's like a. So he's a little squishy guy, still black and inky. All of his tendrils are still locked in these great big shackles. That's the word, not cuffs, shackles. And you see Queen Etheria has King David down with you, and like you can see that she's channeling some of House Paternia magic like off of King David to help with the removal of this binding curse. And slowly, one by one, the golden shackles dissipate into golden sparkles and drift up into the air until finally the little squishy guy is all that remains. It looks exactly like how it did when you stepped on him in your mindscape.
I figured. I want to kneel down in front of him. And like, I'm actually, sorry.
He blinks his 3 eyes.
The first sign of you threatening the safety of Paternia, the hole we throw you into will be much worse than this one.
It cannot speak.
Well, he should still be in my mind, right?
Yeah, you get it. Like he can't the squid form kind of like recoils a little bit out of discomfort. But like, yeah, there's definitely an understanding in the 3 evil eyes of the aboleth.
Nice. Okay, that's all I wanted. He's free to go now.
I mean, Ken beat the living crap out of him last time. You guys are gonna have to move him.
Yeah, and Ken is only there to watch where this patron is going.
Good morning.
If Ken is there at all.
Ken is there.
I want to find an ideal habitat for him.
So you see that like from the moment that his tendrils were freed, he kind of like has been moving slowly, like with all of his might, towards the underground lagoon by the Myconid Society. So there's definitely an intention that he wants to get back into the water.
That makes sense. But, like, do I think that there might be a better place of water for him?
You can try. Go ahead if you want. You can make a roll and try to communicate with him.
Can I try to use his own sending ability that he gave me to talk to him directly?
Yeah, this will be. You can muster up the last. You can muster up the last of this pact magic that you have with him.
Right. Then yeah. It's just a thing that I use.
Okay.
I need to get into the water so that I can send a signal to the stars. Just any water, just get me to the ocean.
Okay, I'll bring you to the ocean. And if you do end up staying here, we can discuss how I suppose we'll find you a better one. Like an ideal place to live.
You are very kind.
And the magic fades from the pact. And your pact stone within your tome, it loses all magical property, and you kind of see it almost like shakes a little, and then kind of turns into dust within your tome. You no longer have any access to any of your pact magic. As do you like scoop them up in your arms or something like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, Howle scoops the aboleth up in his arms and walks him slowly
Oh god.
into the lagoon inside of the Myconid cave. And the little aboleth swims away, quick as a flash. And we pan up to the stars draped over Paternia. And we end tonight's session. I, of course, have been your Dungeon Master, Goon Daddy. Playing Fiery Vixen, Skortch has been Window Goblin.
That could have gone better.
Playing our breezy, beautiful boy and baby rogue is Howle, a.k.a. Grem the Glitch Gremlin.
I might have been the only reason it didn't go worse.
Playing Big Buff and Blue is Blu Moon, has been Jyden the Android.
That was settled.
And playing Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting in Their Sleep, Ken was SmokeyDBlaze.
But you can't prove it in court.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead if you want to help support the project that this wonderful little project that we have. Go ahead to patreon.com/Daddy'sDungeonDND and sign up at the $5 level if you really want to. And I really want you to, because I'm really making animatics and stuff for you guys, and working on this campaign is probably one of the reasons why I haven't ended it all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, who's your daddy?
Nope.